What if I told you that this is your sign to leave him? What if I also told you if you choose not to take this sign, you might end up in an unhappy relationship for the rest of your life? If that's not what you want for yourself and you want to be absolutely sure of what you should do, stay for today's show where we're going to be discussing how to know it's time to let him go. That way you can be absolutely sure that that man is the right man for you. Welcome to the Players Club. If you're paying attention to me and everyone else in the live stream, please stay here present so that I know you're here present and actively participating. So good to see you all here after 2 days without you guys due to technical difficulties. There will be no technical difficulties today. I'm fired up. It's Friday and we gonna get this thing going, okay? No sound issues, no video issues, no nothing issues. We here for real today, okay? I'm hyped up. I'm ready to go. I got lots of energy today, okay? I spent all night and day making sure everything was good, making sure there was no issues, rewiring everything. We're good to go. Okay, I'm hyped up. All right. If I was with you in person, I'd give you a chest bump. No diddy. All right, let's get this started. Let's get this started. All right. All right. So number one, let's discuss confusion. Now, yesterday, I kind of started on topic on point number one that we were going to be discussing. And I talked about confusion. Obviously, today we have no technical difficulties, so we'll be able to get a little bit in depth. Those of you that were with me yesterday, just take a second while I briefly describe this point, and then we'll move on to the other ones you haven't heard yet, okay? So number one is confusion. Now, what you want to understand is when you're in a relationship with a guy, you don't want to be in a position where you're regularly confused. So what I mean by that, you should be well aware of where your relationship stands with that man and how he feels about that same relationship. A lot of times, confusion is not just saying, hey, I don't know if we're boyfriend and girlfriend or if we're just doing a thing or saying it's complicated. Confusion is also not knowing how that other person feels or would describe that relationship. So let me give you an example of how to know for sure if you're in a position where you are confused, okay? If I were to sit you down in a room with me, okay? No diddy, no weird stuff. Just me and you in a room having a conversation. We're friends. And I were to ask you, what is the status of your relationship with this guy currently? What has it been for the past couple of weeks or the past couple of months, right? And where are things heading in the next 3 to 4 months? And I were to ask you those questions to help get an understanding of what this relationship is with this man. And you answer those questions. Let's just say you say, oh, well, you know, the past couple of weeks we've been going on dates and things have been getting progressively more serious. And I've been seeing him and I've been spending time with him and me and him are getting really close. So in the next 3 to 4 months, I really foresee myself being his girlfriend and he's going to be my boyfriend for sure. Okay. Let's just say for the sake of example, that's your answer to that question. Then I sit him down, okay? The guy that you're talking to that you're spending a lot of your time with, I sit him down in the same room, you're gone now, and I ask him, what is the status of your relationship currently? What has it been the past couple of weeks or months? And where is it going in the next 3 to 4 months? If his answer is not similar to yours, meaning he says himself, yeah, we've been going on dates these past couple of weeks. We've been getting closer and closer. Things are more intimate. We're moving in the right direction. I like what I'm seeing from her. I think she likes what she's seeing from me. We've been spending more time together. And then the next 3 to 4 months, she'll be my girlfriend, or I'll be at least asking her to be my girlfriend. If that is not his own response out of his own mouth and his own thoughts, and your response is that you guys are serious and his response is, maybe me and her, we're kind of friends and we're kind of chilling and, we're just hanging out, seeing where things go, right? If you guys have differing responses to where things are and where they're going to go and where they've been, you're in a confused state. Meaning you might think you know where things are going, but you and him are not on the same page as to where things are going, where they're headed, or where they've been. That is confusion as well. So if I were to ask you and put you in that hypothetical scenario in which I were able to talk to both you and him separately and ask you about the intimate details of your relationship, and you know in your heart of hearts that his answer would likely be different or very off or veer off in a different direction than yours, then you're in a confused state. In which case the answer is it is time to leave him, because you cannot be in a relationship that you consider a relationship and then the guy you're in a relationship with or you're talking to or is said boyfriend does not feel that that is his own title or that is what your relationship is at that current moment. Because if that's the case, then both of you are going to be moving in two different directions, not understanding where things are going because you don't even see them the same way. And some of you have been here before in this situation, even in a less hypothetical sense, in a more practical sense, where you might have mutual friends with the guy that you're talking to. And when you talk to your mutual friends, you tell them about your relationship with him and you talk about how serious it's getting. He's telling you he likes you, and maybe in some cases he's telling you he loves you, and you guys kiss on each other. You spend the night at each other's place every weekend, and you're talking about the relationship as if it's very serious. Meanwhile, when he talks to your mutual friends, he's talking about how casual it is. Oh, we're just friends. Oh, we just hang out every now and again. Very casual, very chill. No, we don't go out on dates. I just sometimes hit her up because I'm going to get something to eat and I ask her if she wants to meet me to get something to eat, right? And you guys are on two different pages, and then you hear from your mutual friends that, hey, the guy you're talking to says that you guys are just casually going out to eat, not going out on dates. And you're like, wait, what? I'm confused. And then you confront him about it. That's how you know you're in a confused state, okay? So that is sign number one. Now, sign number two, and I didn't get a chance to get into this yesterday, and I think it's so important for you guys to understand and hear from me because this is honestly a very big one that I need you to pay attention to, because for some of you, it's happening within you without realizing it. If you're in a position where you're dating this guy and you like him, or you think you like him and think you want to be with him, but you also find yourself fantasizing about being with other guys, then this is your sign to leave him. And let me get more specific about what I mean by fantasizing being with other men, okay? What I'm talking about is the desire to say, hey, yeah, you're cool and you're nice or whatever, but there's this other guy at my work or in my friend group or that I see on Instagram. And when I see that guy, I wish, or I wonder what my life would be like if I could be with a guy like that. Okay? Because the moment that you start fantasizing or feeling like, oh, yeah, I've got this guy right now and he's cool, but if I could be with a guy like that, oh my God, my life would be changed. My life would be awesome. My life would be amazing. You might as well walk away from that relationship, because two things are happening here. One, that man is a placeholder for you, okay? If that's how you really feel, or that's where the type of thoughts you find yourself feeling on a consistent basis, that man's a placeholder for you. And number two, you won't be putting your best foot forward because, like Nick just said, you're thinking that the grass is always greener. So by the time there comes any issues in your relationship, or any times where you guys have to deal with things or persevere in your relationship, you're constantly going to be in a position where you're saying, hey, I don't know if I want to deal with this. I don't know if I want to work through this. I don't know if I want to problem solve, because you're thinking my life would probably be better suited being with someone else over there, being with this type of guy that I fantasize about, or this type of a guy that I dream about or would love to be with, okay? And the fantasy that I'm discussing is not just the fantasy of thinking to yourself, hey, I want to sleep with these other guys. That's not what I'm discussing. What I'm talking about when I'm also talking about fantasy is the desire to say, hey, I would love to be in a relationship with a guy like that. Okay, or I would love to be romantic with this type of guy, okay? My guy friend is cool, my boyfriend is cool, whatever it may be, but at the same time, he's not everything that I want. He's not everything that I would dream of, and there definitely are other guys in my life or at my workplace or in my friend group that I would, love to get an opportunity at. Why? Because you'll also find yourself putting yourself in precarious situations because you're not totally sold on the guy that you're dating, that this is the guy for you. So we don't want you in that position. We don't want you, not moving in the right direction in the relationship because of that, and because your mind isn't there. Okay? Does that make sense? Is it buffering for those of you on TikTok or YouTube? I see some of you guys saying that it's buffering there, that we get a chance to get through everything we've been supposed to go through this past couple of days. Okay. So you don't want to be fantasizing about different men or being with different men or being romantic with different men, because that is your sign that the guy that you're with is a placeholder. And if you're with a guy that you consider to be a placeholder, then there's a high likelihood that you are with him and in this relationship because you'd rather not be lonely than you are in this relationship because you actually feel like this is the man you're looking for. Remember, I talk to you guys all the time about making sure you're writing down your list and writing down in your notepad or your Wattpad or whatever pad that you of the criteria and qualities of the man and the relationship that you want and you're looking for. That way you know it when you find it. If you're with a placeholder man and you're with a man just because you don't want to be lonely and just because you don't want to be single, then that's a problem, because you're not going to be mentally putting your best foot forward in that relationship, nor is that fair to you or him if you're with a guy just simply for the fact that you don't want to be lonely rather than being with that guy because you actually want to be with him, right? And so those are the things you have to be thinking about and prioritizing while you're dating men. Does that make sense? All right. So number 1 was confusion. Number 2, fantasizing. Number 3, okay, is asking for more. Now, what I mean by asking for more is if you find yourself in a situation where you're dating a guy and you're constantly feeling like, I need more out of you. I need you to treat me better. I need you to do more, for me. I don't get princess treatment from you like I want. I don't get compliments from you like I want. I don't get attention from you like I want. I don't get whatever it is that you're in need for. And you find yourself constantly asking him to put forth more effort into the relationship in order for you to feel like you're even in a relationship, then that's a problem. Because you can't be in a constant state of starvation where you feel like you're not getting enough and you constantly feel like you have to beg and beg and beg and beg and beg for him to give you more in this relationship. You have to be in a place where you feel abundance so that you can actually be in your natural feminine element. We can't have you in a position where you feel like, I need this and I need that and I need this and I'm not getting enough, because when you're starved like that, you're going to start getting into your masculine energy, chasing after him, trying to get him to do the things that you want him to do or the things required for him to actually be a good boyfriend. Okay, so let me give you a little bit more of a direct example of what I mean when I'm talking about asking for more. So let's just say, for the sake of example, you really want a guy who will like take you out places and all he wants to do is stay inside and do stuff. Okay. And you guys are staying inside. Maybe he'll cook sometimes. You stay inside, you watch Netflix sometimes, you stay inside a whole bunch. And you're like, look, I feel like you're not putting in any effort towards our hangouts. All we do is stay inside and watch Netflix. All we do is stay inside and eat Uber Eats. Okay. And so you're constantly asking for him to put forth more effort in terms of actually dating you and not just having you come over to his place casually. And as you ask for that, maybe you might get that for a little bit or a couple of dates or something like that, but you're not able to get that on a consistent basis. And so you're always in a position where you're nervous or you're scared or you're in fear that, hey, I feel like I'm not getting enough of you. I feel like I'm not getting your 100% effort in this relationship. I feel like you don't care. I feel like you're not trying, whatever it may be. And because you're leaning forward, right? You're leaning forward. You're a little bit nervous. You're in fear, right? You're leaning forward. You're in your masculine, and you're asking and begging and pleading more of him. And as soon as you start doing that, that's when they start pulling away from you, or you start repelling them away from you, and then you get less and less and less and less as time goes on. Okay. So if you're in a position where you find yourself constantly asking for more more, and even in some cases begging for more, and when I talk about more, I specifically mean more effort from that man, then you know this is time for you to walk away and step away from that relationship, okay? Does that make sense so far to you guys, right? Do you guys have any questions about anything I discussed so far? I know I'm going a little bit fast today. I'm real excited, okay? Right? By the way, there's a difference between asking for more because he literally isn't giving you anything, and a difference between, wanting more just simply because he might have other things that he's doing, okay? When you find yourself begging for more because he's just not doing anything for you and nothing even for himself or this relationship at all, then you know that it's time to let this go, because some of you are in that position where you're constantly feeling like you need this guy to actually treat this like a relationship. If you're a guy and the guy that you're thinking of and you're wondering about if I should be with him is not treating this like a relationship, and you have to push him or get him hyped up or get him to actually get to where you need him to be mentally and emotionally, that's not the guy for you. Okay, I'm here to tell you that's not the guy for you, and that's not the guy you're looking for. You should not have to be pushing men and trying to get them to be where you need them to be emotionally. They should already be there, and you should be the one pacing the man that you're dating, okay? Meaning you should be the one saying, whoa, I know you really want this. I know you really want to build with me. I know you really want to, get to us dating and us being boyfriend and girlfriend, but let's take our time and let's actually get to know each other as much as possible, right? You should be the one pacing, not the one asking and in some cases begging for more. Let's go. So we had number one, which was confusion. Number two, we talked about fantasizing. Number three, asking for more. And number four, let's touch on an unclear picture. So this is actually going to be stop pooping time. Okay. And this is where we're actually going to have a conversation here. I want us to be very aware of what I'm going to discuss here. One of the biggest mistakes you can make when dating someone, okay? Stop pooping, snip your poop off, take your hand out of your pants, look at me in my eyes. One of the biggest mistakes you can make when you're dating someone is not realizing that you're here for a reason. Whether you're dating someone, seeing them, talking to them, whatever it may be. You are not dating people for fun. Okay, get that out of your head. Get rid of that. Rid yourself, wash that away from your mental. You're not dating people for fun. You're dating people to invest your time and energy into someone that will eventually be your life partner, that you can have children with, assuming you want to have children, okay? And that you can spend the rest of your life with. You do not want to be wasting that time invested in men that you are not going to spend the rest of your life with. Your whole goal and your mindset should be focused on, I only have a limited amount of my time and energy. I want to spend as much of that limited time and energy on the man that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and as little of that time and energy on the men who I am not going to be spending the rest of my life with. The reason I want to make that very clear distinction for you today is so that you can understand, if you need a man that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, a man that's going to be your husband, a man that's going to take care of you, a man that's going to be a father of your children, these are things you need to be answering for yourself as the relationship is going on. Is he the type of man that can actually fit this criteria? So what do I mean specifically? If you are dating a man and you are unclear about whether or not he would be a good husband or a good father to your children, and you're saying to yourself, I like him and I like spending time with him, but when I think about him being like my husband, he's not really husband material. Or when I think about him being a father, I don't know if he's got, the qualities enough to be a father. That's a problem. Okay? And that's one of the major problems that I actually want to touch on. It's going to be one of our main points today that I want to touch on, because this is one of the main things that a lot of you are missing, which is why you end up in a confused state with the guy that you're dating. Because rather than thinking, hey, do you fit husband criteria? Do you fit father of my children criteria? If the answer to that question is truthfully no, then why am I even spending my time or energy on you? And it goes back to my point earlier that I made about spending your time and energy on a guy or with a guy simply because you're lonely and you don't want to be single, rather than because that is actually the guy you're looking to spend the rest of your life with. Because if you see him and you say, nah, you're not responsible enough to be a father. You can barely take care of yourself, let alone take care of children. I can't imagine what it would be like if you had another human being's life in your responsibility. You can't even stick to planning a date at the correct time and showing up at the correct time for the date. How are you supposed to have children with me and actually be able to not just take care of yourself, but take care of yourself and the children and plan their days out, plan their schedules out, and be on time for them? You can't even be on time for yourself. How are you supposed to be my husband and put a ring on it? You don't even know, you don't have a career. You don't know what you want to do. You sit around, play video games. You're broke. You can't even put a free attention and free focus on our relationship, let alone putting focus on your career, right? And so these are the things that you have to start thinking about when you're dating guys. And for some of you, when I ask you the question, do you really see the guy that you're dating or seeing as a husband or a father to your children? If your answer is no, or your answer is I'm not sure, then it's time to walk away from that man and that relationship. Because why are you spending your time and your energy on a man who you do not even foresee to be your life partner? If you don't foresee him to be your life partner, then do not waste your time and energy on that man. It's a very simple concept when we talk about it, but it's something that you're thinking of lastly when you're dating men a lot of the time. Because, of course, you want to think about your fun. You want to think about how things are going. You want to think about if you're having a good time. And a lot of times when you're solely thinking about your short-term happiness and thinking about how you feel in that moment, what you're not thinking about is, wait, but is any of this actually going somewhere and going in any particular direction? It's the exact reason why I tell you all, please, please, please be focused on making sure that you are intentional when you date men. Do not date men because you're bored. Don't date men because you have spare time. Don't date men because you don't want to be single. Date a guy because he's actually the type of guy you're looking for and the type of guy you want to spend the rest of your life with. Not just to fool around and mess around and get penetrated, okay? That's not what we want you to be doing with your time and with your energy, okay? So, number 1 was the confusion. Number 2, the fantasizing. Number 3, asking for more. And number 4, the unclear picture. Now, do you guys have any questions about anything we've discussed so far? I'm still going to get into the rest of them, okay? Rosie says it's because we believe it's easy to do so. Why can't men be mature and organized and with goals? Well, that's the thing. See, you're not looking for every man. And the truth of the matter is, I'm going to tell you this, the truth of the matter is not every man is going to be organized, have goals, be responsible. It's just not possible, okay? If every man was like that, there would be no problems in relationships and you wouldn't be here listening to me. The thing about it is there's very few men like that, but of course you're in the Players Club, so you all get an opportunity to snatch up those few men because you know what you're looking for. See, the issue is a lot of times if you don't know what you're looking for or you're not hyper aware of it, when you go out on dates, you'll date men simply because, you know, you have some fun with them instead of thinking about the deeper meaning or the deeper rooted reasons of why you're actually here. And then you'll end up wasting a lot of time. Unfortunately, not all guys are going to come ready-made, organized, with goals and responsible, knowing exactly where they're going and being able to lead you. It's just not possible, okay? So your job is, as the woman, to be smart enough to know not every man you date or spend time with is going to be the guy you're looking for, and start evaluating men so you can understand, are you what I'm looking for or not, okay? Right? Rosie says, are we projecting ourselves on these men that have no potential? Well, for a plethora of reasons, you could be staying with the guy who is not what you're looking for, whether it be because you're lonely or bored, you're trying to get over an ex or a past partner, or simply because you're unaware of what it is you're here for, which is why I mentioned that, because some of you are just unaware of what am I actually here for, which is to find a life partner. You're not here to fool around and have him jackrabbit himself inside of you for 90 seconds. Because the reality of it is, even if you say you're here for fun, eventually you want to stop having fun. So what happens when you want to stop having fun, you want things to get serious, and you become frustrated because all the energy you've been attracting to you and in your life and in your relationships is very unserious. Okay? Does that make sense? Right? Henya says he is definitely what I'm looking for. Good. So this show is to help you understand what the criteria is you should be analyzing, and know to yourself, hey, okay, am I moving in the right direction, or is this the type of relationship I want? Or am I realizing, based on what the show was about, that actually all of this stuff that he's mentioning applies to me in some way, shape, or form, and this guy is probably not the one I'm going to be spending the rest of my life with, in which case you know the answer to your question and what you got to do next, okay? So number 1 was the confusion. Number 2, fantasizing. Number 3, asking for more. Number 4, the unclear picture. And number 5 that I want to discuss with you all is when you get icked out by everything he does, okay? Now, there's a very funny scene in Love Island where Leah, or Lee, I think her name is Leah, and Connor are in a couple, okay? I'm going to just skim through this. You don't have to know Love Island to understand. It's a dating show. And Leah and Connor are in a couple. And Connor is essentially her rebound man after dating another guy, okay? I forget the guy's name that she was dating before. And while Connor and Leah are in a couple in this, dating show thing, and they are getting to know each other, right? Her ex-person was Rob. Someone said it in the chat, okay? And Connor and Leah are getting to know each other. She eventually realizes that she really, even though Connor's cool, Connor's awesome, he's nice, he's caring, he's everything that Rob, her ex-guy on the show, wasn't, okay? Great, he's awesome, right? Knows that he wants her, all that good stuff. Eventually, Leah sits down with her other friends in the dating show, right? Because they're all in one big group of people. And they step aside. And this is after like a couple of, I don't know, days or weeks or whatever of dating this new guy, Connor. And she sits them down and she's like, girl, I'm going to be honest with you. Connor's cool, but guys, I don't like him. And all the girls are like, oh my God, Lee, why would you? Because they all know what it feels like to get the ick from a guy and you're just like, you know what? It's just not working for me, okay? I can't get there mentally. And it's funny, after Leah said that and to her girls, they understood. But Leah tried her best to make it work, but everything Connor would do, there was one time he was doing like a somersault. He was just being silly. And she was like, oh my God, why are you somersaulting? You're just so icky, right? And when you find yourself in that state where you're like, even just like watching the guy that you're with and you're sitting there on a date with him and all he's doing is eating and you're like, look at the way he's picking up his fork. Oh, he's so gross. Or it just bothers you. It just irks you. And for some reason, even though he's not doing anything to upset you, it rubs you the wrong way. If you're in a situation like that mentally, you need to walk away from that relationship. Do yourself and him a favor and walk away from that relationship. Because some of you might stay with the guy that gives you the ick because you feel like, well, I should be with the guy like this, or I should like him, or I shouldn't be icked out like that. I should just get over it. But the problem is, as you continue to try to get over it, it just makes it worse and worse and worse, and you can't get over it. Okay, and sometimes it's just not something you can control. You can't always control your feelings towards or for someone. But what you want to make sure that you don't do is stay in a relationship with a guy simply because you're bored or you're lonely or you just don't want to be single, even though you know this isn't the man for you. and basically waiting it. Because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up waiting it out in your relationship with him while he icks you out, and you're like, I don't really know if I like him that much. And you're essentially going to be having him as a placeholder until the man that actually, gets you worked up, gets you lubricated, comes along, and then all of a sudden you have issues or fights with the man that you're with, and then now you go ahead and date the new guy, okay? Nothing wrong with having feelings, and nothing wrong with realizing that a guy simply isn't for you. But the whole point of this point is that I want you to start getting more in touch with your intuition and get more in touch with how you feel. Because this is the problem that you're facing and why we're having this show and this discussion. When you start not being capable of understanding how you feel or knowing what you want or knowing, what your own genuine opinion or thoughts are, you stop being capable of being able to make decisions based on how you really feel. And instead, you allow men or your boredness or loneliness to dictate the decisions that you make. And you can't do that because allowing boredness and loneliness to dictate your decisions is not necessarily going to be in line with having happiness, okay? And like Kitty just said, you're going to live with a lot of regret if you allow your decisions to be made by you being bored, you being lonely, or you feeling like, hey, I'd rather be with the guy than to be with no one at all. That's not how that works. Okay. And we want you to have happiness in your relationships and in your life. And you can only do that if you're aware of how you truly feel and you're capable of being honest with yourself on how you truly feel and honest with other people. When you start getting good at being honest with yourself about how you truly feel and what you truly feel, then when you date men, you don't have to waste so much time dating them until it just doesn't work out. Instead, you can date men and very quickly be like, oh, you know what? I dated you. I realized you're not my cup of tea. I don't foresee you as a husband. I'm going to stop dating you. Dating men for you should not just be about, hey, I'm just going to date only the men that like me, right? And when I find a guy that really likes me, that's the guy who I'm going to date. You also have to be considering how you feel about that guy and what you want from a relationship and if he fits that criteria, because there's more criteria than just does he like me. Because when you're only thinking about, I just want to find someone that likes me, then you're in a pick-Misha mindset. You're in a mindset where you're just looking for someone to actually want you. Instead of having the mindset where I'm looking to sift through all the garbage and all the mid-tier to find the high-quality gem of a man that I'm actually looking for, right? You want to be, you want to be a prize, right? And I know you do because that's why you're here. You want to be treated as a prize as well. So you actually have to have a prizes mentality. And what I mean by that is you have to have the mentality that everyone wants me. My job is not to find someone who likes me. They all do. My job is to sift through all of the junk to find the one that I'm looking for. They all want me. Right? And that is when you're going to be in your feminine energy, right? Because that's when you're going to be receiving men, receiving their energy, receiving their gifts, receiving their intention, receiving their actions, all of that good stuff. Instead of you saying, "Hey, guys, I've got the box for the Lolo. Who needs the box for the Lolo? I got the 99-cent box. Anyone that likes me, please let me know. I will gladly be at your service if you like me or want me. I just need someone to like." You cannot be in that type of energy. You will never be in your feminine by being in that type of state, thinking, hey, I just need someone to like me. No. You want to find out if you like someone else. And so that is part of our fifth point here, which is understanding, hey, do I get icked out by just you being you? Because if that's the case, then that's my intuition, my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit telling me that you're not the man for me. And if that's the case, that you're not the man for me, then I have to be honest with myself about that, not mess around and waste time with you or in this relationship when I know this isn't going to work out, okay? You have to become okay with letting people go that just aren't what you're looking for. Remember, I told you in the middle of the show that you're trying, in your quest to find love, you're trying to spend the least amount of time on and with the men who aren't what you're looking for, and you want to reserve all of that time and that energy for the man you are looking for to spend the rest of your life with. So you don't want to be in a situation where you're for long periods of time and long cycles dating random men who aren't what you're looking for and aren't what you want, simply because you're bored, lonely, or because you don't know what it is you're looking for. You want to make sure you're spending that time wisely, and as soon as you realize he's not what you're looking for, then you go ahead and you get rid of him, okay? Which is exactly what today's show was about, okay? So, do you guys have any questions about those 5? Number 1 was confusion. Number 2 was fantasizing. Number 3, asking for more. Number 4, the unclear picture. And number 5, getting icked out by him and everything he says or does. Does that make perfect sense to all you beautiful people? Dixon says, where can we see this list? This list is all available on my YouTube page. It's just above my head on the top right corner of the screen. You just type in my name, Tomisin Atobatele, on YouTube. I'm live there at the same time as I'm live on YouTube or on TikTok, and you can find all of the points that I gave in their detail on there, okay, in case you missed any of them, right? Serena says, I know where's our PowerPoint. Don't worry, we shall return to PowerPoints and the board and stuff next week. I just didn't want to have any more technical difficulties, which is why I didn't have them here today, okay? Does that make sense to all of you so far, okay? Now, do you guys have any questions about the 5 that we just discussed? Dorcas says, in a relationship with a man who loves me genuinely, but it doesn't take me on dates often, is that bad? Well, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be taken on dates more often? If that's the case, then you're kind of suffering from asking for more. Because if you constantly find yourself asking for more effort from him in this relationship and because you don't feel like you're getting enough, then you're kind of in that position, because you can't continue to be in a state where you're feeling like you're not getting enough out of him in this relationship, or you're not getting enough specific effort from him in this relationship. If you feel like you don't go out on enough dates and he doesn't see it that way, or he doesn't have any desire to do more for you in this relationship, then you're probably going to need to walk away from that relationship, because at a certain point, there's only so much you can do before you're just begging and pleading for someone who's not doing anything for you. Okay? Does that make sense? Valerie says, using the law of detachment. The law of detachment definitely works, and I have a whole show on that there, okay? I want to make sure to answer some of your questions because I know you guys haven't been here for the past 2 days, so any of you that have things to ask me, whether it be about the show or just in general, I can definitely answer that for you all, okay? Jamila says in the YouTube chat, she says, why can't be boys meets girls, gets married, lives happily ever after? I mean, that would be the best case scenario, but unfortunately, that's not the world that we live in. So I love to talk to you guys in the Players Club about the world that we actually live in, not a hypothetical dream world that we could live in one day in a perfect utopia, because us talking and complaining about that doesn't actually help you get to where you need to go, which is to find your life partner. We could talk in circles about how life should be and could be, but at the end of the day, it's not that. So let's figure out how we can find you the man you're looking for and sift through the garbage instead of us just talking about what life could be in a fairy tale. Okay, that's why we have this show here, so I can give you practical advice, techniques, and concepts to think about so that you can actually utilize them to find what you're looking for. Because we can't just sit here and say it's too hard the whole time. By the way, I see some people that comment every now and again. They say, but this is too hard. We're so fed up. This is too much work. Why can't it just be easy? Hey, if you want life to be easy, you can go ahead and just hope that one day your Prince Charming comes knocking on your door and you don't have to vet him or do anything for him. You can continue living in that dream world. But for those of you who actually want to see a change and, get the man you're looking for, I'm going to give you advice on how to do that, but it is going to require strategy, because anything worthwhile in life requires effort. It's not just going to come to you for the sake of coming to you, okay? Even having the knowledge to understand what you're looking for is strategizing, okay? And that is a good thing, right? SMC says life is never easy, but the non-easy makes you grow. Precisely. And what I want you guys to start thinking about every time you come and you join the Players Club and you have conversation with me and you hear what I'm saying and you actually implement it, right? every time you do that, realize that you're in the minority, because majority of women aren't bothering to actually want to get to know or understand how men think, how they operate, so that they can utilize that information to their benefit and get the men chasing after them. Only the few minority of women who have all the men desiring them and obsessed with them understand these concepts. But the thing about it is, all the majority of men who are majority of women who don't understand those concepts, they look at the women like you who do understand those concepts and they say, "What's your secret? How do you do it? I can't even get my man to text me back. But somehow you have all these men crawling on glass, ready to sniff your butthole, and you're not even doing anything." I send my man long paragraphs every day begging him to notice me, begging him to give me attention and to talk to me, and I get nothing. Meanwhile, I watch you literally do nothing for men, literally be mean to them, literally ignore them, and all they want to do is talk to you more. I don't understand. Right? And you can be the one that actually gets all the men, and you do, because you do understand and have a concept of how they work and how they operate. Okay. And the craziest part about it is that a lot of times, if you listen to the wrong men, meaning if you listen to the guys you're dating, the advice they'll give you will actually make you more unattractive as a woman. You have to be listening to people who aren't invested in getting something from you, in the sense of getting your time and energy, right? Because when you ask men who you're dating what you should do for them, they're going to advise you that the most attractive, hot version of you is the one that's needy, that needs validation, that texts him 24/7, that acts crazy, that does all the things that make it easy for him to overlook you, which actually we might have a whole show on, right? Because there's a whole list of things that men will ask of you only for it to make you more unattractive to them, that it makes it easier for them to overlook you. Because the reality of it is, when you do the things that they wouldn't ask for, like ignoring them, like paying them no mind, like being mean to them, like not talking to them 24/7, that's when they actually go crazy for you. But they're never going to come out and tell you, "Hey, if you want me to respond to you properly, then you better ignore me. You better barely talk to me. You better barely notice me, or you better barely need me," right? They're not going to come out and tell you all those things, because that's going to make it harder for them to get access to you, and it's going to give them more anxiety, right? So sometimes you have to understand that the guys that are advising you, like that you're in a relationship, on how you can be more attractive to them, are going to be telling you things that actually work against what you're trying to get out of the relationship. Okay. Does that make sense to you guys so far? Elle says, do we pay on dates? Do we pay for them too, or just our part? Well, here's the thing. The paying for the dates thing is kind of a preference thing. I'll say, if you have no problem paying for your own dinner at a date, sure, go ahead. My own perspective on it is, if a guy is asking you out on a date, a guy should be asking you out on a date. It shouldn't be you asking him out on a date. If a guy is asking you out on a date, then he should be the one treating you to the date. Are you following what I'm saying? So if a guy comes up to you and says, "Hey, I think you're amazing. I think you're beautiful. I'd love to get to know you. Can I take you out on a date?" I think that inherently means he should be paying for that said date. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's got to pay for absolutely everything for the rest of time. But if a man is asking you out, that should inherently mean he's asking you out to treat you, because he wants to get to know you. Part of the reason why I tell you, don't be chasing after men. Don't be on dating apps where you have to message men first. That's horrible. And don't put yourself in a position where you're out and about and you're the one going up to men, because you're starting it off on the foot where, "Hey, I'm trying to get to know you and spend time with you." And the men that you come up to are definitely not going to be, why would they say, "I'm going to pay for the date"? You asked him out. When you ask a guy out, you're essentially saying, "Hey, I'm down to pay for my own date and pay for my own dinner," because you're the one saying, "Hey, I want to get to know you and take you out for a treat." So I say that to say, if you're super evolved and this is 2024 for you, and you know equality, and you don't mind paying for the day, and you want to be the man too, go ahead. Ask that guy out, go up to him, tell him how cute and beautiful he is, tell him how much you like his aura, ask him out on that date, sit down on the date with him and take your fat wallet out and your American Express card and pay for that date. It's 2024. You can do what you want to do. But I will tell you, you definitely won't get no damn princess treatment doing that, okay? You can do that, but you won't get no damn princess treatment from those men, okay? It's your choice, though. I'm not telling you how to live your life or the difference between right and wrong, right? Mary said slap his butt. You could do that, too, okay? It's your choice. But if you want princess treatment, you can't do that, okay? And unfortunately, if you want princess treatment, even sometimes where you see a guy you like or think is cute or would like to get to know more from, the most you can, there is a certain limit to what you can do to attract him, meaning you're not going to go up to him. Of course, you can smile at him. You can give him a look, right? And you can get good at flirting with your body language to attract men and invite them in to come and talk to you. But you should not be going up to them. You should not be introducing yourself to them. And you should not be having your girlfriend go up to those guys for you and say, hey, my friend thinks you do not ever have your girlfriend go up to a man for you and say, hey, I think my friend thinks you're cute, and she wants to, you to come up to her. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. And I have a whole show on how to flirt with men the right way to get them interested and get them to come up to you, okay? Never be going up to guys in person. I really, really mean that. I don't care how good looking he is. I don't care if you feel like you're never going to see him again. Never go up to men because you're already setting a bad precedent from the very beginning, okay? Right. Dorcas says we've been dating for about 6 months, but we've just gone on 2 dates. I feel bad at times. Dorcas, go ahead and send if your question is more extended and you want some in-depth answer, chat. Later on in the show, I'm gonna hop into what we call our Discord time, and our Discord time is where everyone gets to answer a question in our Discord community, and I answer them live on the show. So I will answer any one of you that has a detailed question that you can't just put in 2 sentences. Please head over into our Discord. Our moderators will let you know how to get to the Discord. It's just for those of you who are on TikTok, it's just the link in my bio on TikTok. Click where it says join the Discord community and you ask your question there, okay? And if you want it to get answered today, you can donate to the show through premium relationship advice, our premium Discord questions. And it's the same link in my TikTok. Go there, you click the premium relationship advice, you follow the instructions for donating to the show and putting your username and title your question, and then you put it in the right corresponding place in our Discord, and I answer them live today on the show for the premium questions. For the free questions, I might not be able to get to yours today, okay? But make sure you go ahead and put that in the Discord, all right? For those of you who are having a longer questions. Let's see here. Oh, Katie donates $5 in the YouTube chat. She says, thank you, Tomisin, for all your wisdom. Please keep doing the water drinking ASMR. Do you guys like the water drinking? When I drink water on the show, I didn't think that you guys, some people be like, I don't like that. It's really annoying. And some people be like, oh, I love that. So I guess we'll have to take a poll or something like that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Divine A says, what if I just say he's handsome and I walk away? Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Do not, listen to me, chat. Do not ever, for whatever reason, come up to men and say anything. Let them come to you first, then you can yap and you can talk and you can chat. Don't go up to men and say anything. It sets a bad precedent. I know you might think he's cute. You might think he's so fine, think he's whatever. Don't do it. Unless you want to be the man, you want to put your wallet down, your American Express, you want to slap him on the butt and you want to give him princess treatment, then you can go ahead and do whatever you want. But if you want princess treatment, don't be going up to men. Just don't do it. There's no point. Get good at flirting with your body language, your eyes, and your smile, and being inviting to men to come up to you. But here's the thing that you have to understand. While you get good at being inviting the men to come up to you, not every man is going to come up to you. That's fine though, because what you want is to only be spending your time with men who have the ability and the courage to actually go after what they want. So once you give him the signals that you want him to come over to you and he still doesn't do that because he's too shy, good. throw him away. You don't even need to be bothering yourself with a man who is too shy or too scared to come up to a woman and talk to her because he thinks she's attractive and cute. If that guy's too scared to do that, don't waste your time, because you'll be having to beg him to do so much more in a relationship and to be a man in the relationship. So at the end of the day, you're actually saving yourself a headache by, you're saving yourself a headache by only talking to guys who come up to you instead of talking to guys who you have to go up to, okay? Trust me, once you get good at eye contact, once you get good at understanding, how to flirt with your body language, it's a skill that you develop. I know when I talk about it, some of you all get nervy and get nervous and say, "Oh, but Tomisin, I can't do it. I don't do it right. I don't go out enough. What's another way I can do it? Is there a way that I can send him a message while I see him in person instead and get him to come up to?" It doesn't work like that, chat. I love you and I care about you, which is why I have to be honest. It doesn't work like that, and it will never work like that. I cannot give you a magic potion or a text message to send him to get him to come up to you. You're going to have to get good at flirting with and using your body language and using what the universe or God, however you want to believe it, gave you, and the skill set that he gave you to use your beauty just to mesmerize people and attract them to you. Okay? Use your aura to mesmerize people and attract them to you. You have that gift within you. Now, you can work it out the same way you go to a gym, you build your muscles, you work out, you get stronger, you get bigger, you get leaner. It's the same way you work out that skill. Well, as you go out, you work on your ability to flirt with your eyes and your body language. Use your smile, and use the way you just move around and your aura to be so strong and magnetic that you attract people to you. It's a workout. It's something that you practice, and as you get better at it, it becomes easier and easier to you. Why do you think they say, "Oh, that person is a flirt. Oh, she's such a flirt. He's such a flirt"? Because when you get good at the art of attracting people and using your aura to be magnetic towards people, it's not that hard to just do it on an ongoing basis, right? And as you get better and better at it by practicing, it becomes easier and easier and easier to do it. That's why they say some people are a flirt and they say other people are super awkward, because some people don't practice it at all, so they're not good at it. And some people practice it all the time, so they get good at it. And I'm telling you this from a real honest, I'm telling you this as someone who goes out and doesn't drink, okay? I even go out to an event, to a club, to a bar, to wherever, and I don't drink, and I'm still able to talk to people and have conversation with people and be interesting and funny. So it doesn't require you to be drunk or high, or it doesn't require anything else but the skill set to develop over time. Now, I'm not saying you have to do what I do, but I'm just saying it's a skill set. So don't think that you can't do it or can't develop it. You can do it. You can build it up over time. Serena says, "What do you order?" I order water at a club. I order water, or sometimes I'll drink pineapple juice if, there's pineapple juice or something like that. But I don't drink alcohol. I used to, maybe like 2.5 years ago, but I don't drink anymore, okay? Mary Kim says, "I'm gonna stare at him, pretend I'm having a stroke, and then he can come up to me." That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I'm Not Awake says, "The only place I know is work and school, and I'm out of school, and my job isn't hiring no more." Like, you need some new candidates to be able to flirt with. No, but so that's the thing, right? After work and school, obviously those are the easiest places, but at a certain point you have to find, okay, what's my thing? What's my tribe? Where do I like to spend my time? Okay. It's actually a project that I'm working on to help you guys with that. But you have to start getting good at understanding, okay, aside from going to work and going to school, like, what else do I like? And then spending your time in those places or doing those things. Then you can start meeting some like-minded people and joining a community. Trust me, once you find your niche and you join a community of people, you're going to be meeting people all the time, and it'll become easy to do exactly what I'm talking about without having to go to the club or the bars all the time. Why do you think for some of you, oh, you know what? Today will be a perfect day for us to do this. I'm going to show you the power of run clubs and how run clubs are taking over at least, North America as the #1 newest, most effective way to meet new single people. We're today in our reaction section. Okay. We're going to get to that in a second. Since it's Friday today, I'm going to give you guys a special treat. I'm going to show you about run clubs and how they are changing people's dating lives, okay? And so Swishy says, I hate running. It's not even about the running. You're thinking, but obviously it says run club. People aren't actually running. The run club is just a simple way for people to congregate, build a community, and meet other people. And in the process of that, obviously you're meeting a lot of single people, a lot of people that like to stay fit and healthy. Now, not everyone even runs in the run club. Some people walk. In fact, a lot of people walk. But the purpose of the run club isn't actually running. It's just simply for the community of people. We all meet up at the same place at the same time. Some of us run, some of us walk, some of us jog, and we all, congregate, meet up, and chit chat. You're going to see exactly how powerful this is. And I guarantee you, if any of you live an hour or less from a major city, I can 100% guarantee you there's a run club in your major city. And you're going to see how crazy this is of what people are doing here. Okay. Right. It's really, really, really interesting here. And it's I'm telling you, these are one of the sneaky ways that people are meeting more people and meeting more single people in a way that doesn't require them to be on a dating app, and actually allows you to meet some more like-minded people by joining a community, right? Joining a community is the best way to meet new single people, in my opinion. Way better than Snapchat, way better than Instagram, and way better than, a dating app is to go and join a community, whatever it may be. You could do Taekwondo, you could do karate, you could do kickboxing, you could do run club, you could do whatever it is. You could do the AV club, you could do the theater club. I don't know, whatever club, I don't know, okay? You just have to find your niche and what everyone's into. I know some of you hear run club and you think, oh my God, it requires the most fit of fit people, but it really doesn't, okay? You can really do it without being the most fit of fit people. Also, thank you so much to, who was it that just donated a galaxy there on TikTok? Someone donated a galaxy. That was crazy. Oh, Dixon. Thank you so much to Dixon. I appreciate you so much. Wow. Everyone give a round of applause to Dixon for donating a galaxy in our TikTok chat. That's like a $10 donation. That's big on TikTok. Okay. Did I answer I'm not awake here? I'm not awake also donates $5 in the YouTube chat. She says, hi, Tommy, could you do a topic about cheating, specifically when to stay or leave, depending on the type of guy, the length of the relationship, and etc. So are you talking about, when you should leave if a guy cheats? So if you find out that a guy cheats, your options are pretty limited there. And I say they're limited there because after a guy cheats, if he cheats and you find out about it through no reason of him telling you or bringing this to you, your options are pretty limited in the sense that if you stay, there's a more than likely chance you're going to get cheated on again. So there's not really much for you to do unless you want to continue getting cheated on, because there's a difference, though, between you getting cheated on and, let's say, he comes to you and he admits that he did something bad and wrong, versus you catching him in the act, or, figuring it out on your own, and then he's remorseful. A lot of times in those scenarios, guys aren't really going to make a change there. But sure, we can have that whole discussion one day. I'll put that on the docket of things to discuss. Okay. Does that make sense? Nina says, I live near a golf course watching them now. You mean like watching the guys on the golf course? Yeah. I mean, trust me, anytime you can join a community or a club of people, that will always serve you and benefit you in meeting new, different people. Okay. Right. 100%. Right. SH says, how can you trust a cheater? I would say leave. I would say leave as well. Right. But obviously, there's some, circumstances, but I would say for the most part, leave as well. Right. Let me see here. Let me scroll up a little bit. I want to make sure I get to a lot of your questions here. Okay. My name is says, he asked me on a date, but told me to be reasonable with the cost because he ain't rich. I mean, fair. That's fair. If he's asking you out on a date and he's saying that, hey, I'm going to spend my money, but, I'm going through a rough time here. I can't, go crazy. Fair. Not everyone's going to be in a different situation. The intention is there. That's better than nothing. Okay. Having intention is better than having a man who doesn't care at all or is rich but doesn't show any intention towards dating you. Now, it's a preference thing if you don't want to be dating a man who's broke or a man who's, struggling financially. Honestly, if I was talking to men, my advice to them would be before you start dating, get your money right. Because it doesn't make sense for you to be dating and courting women when you don't have your money right. Because you can't be in your natural masculine energy when you can't even take care or do things for that woman. You're not going to feel good about yourself or good about, the person you're dating if you feel like, hey, I gotta be saving every penny, and I'm on this date now and I'm thinking to myself, if she orders the lobster instead of ordering the spaghetti, I'm literally not going to have enough money to pay. You can't be in that state as a guy when you're dating. So my advice to men, honestly, is to only date when you're financially prepared to date and you actually have spare funds. If you don't, spend all your time and energy figuring that out first, then you start dating. Unfortunately, not every man is going to do that. But my advice to you is if you start dating a man who hasn't done that, be aware of the fact that you're going to face a lot more problems, and you're going to have to figure out a lot more in your relationship, because he's not going to feel good. Honestly, men aren't going to feel good about themselves if they can't do what is supposed to be natural to them, which is take care for you and provide for you. And if he likes you and he thinks you're amazing and gorgeous and beautiful, his natural inclination is to want to provide and protect and do things for you. So if he can't do that, it's going to be frustrating for him, but it's also going to be hard to build your relationship off of that, unfortunately. Okay. So you might want to find a guy who actually can do what needs to be done, to be honest with you. Noel says, may you please make a video on men who have close childhood female friends and best friends with exes? No, any man who's best friends with his ex you would be a fool to even spend your time with a guy like that. Don't, chat, for the rest of you, don't ever in your life waste valuable years or months or weeks or days or seconds or hours of your life on a man who is best friends with his ex. You're just in for a world of pain. You're in for pain town. Okay, you're going to waste a bunch of time, and he's just going to tell you one day that he's not feeling this and he's going back to his ex. Don't waste your time. Okay, so I don't think there even needs to be a show about that, because you don't waste your time at all. Okay, don't waste your time on married men either. For those of you who have questions about married men, don't waste your time on married men. Don't waste your time. I mean, you can ask me the question in the Discord, but for the most part, I'm going to tell you don't waste your time, because you're expecting a man who already has other priorities to make you his number one priority, or you're asking me that why isn't the guy who is married to someone else not treating me like a girlfriend? It doesn't work like that. You will always be the second priority, or even second. Sometimes they're married with children. You'll always be like priority number 4 or 5 in their life. You'll never be more than that. And if you can't accept that, then you should walk away from that, because you can't expect a married man to make you the first priority in his life. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. The same way you can't expect a man who is best friends with his ex to make you his number one priority. It doesn't make sense, because if he's ready to move forward, why is he still best friends with his ex? Unless he's still harboring feelings for her. Chat, don't let friendship fool you into getting played. Friendship and I am being friends with you because our romantic relationship didn't work out are two different things. Some people are friends because they're actually friends, and some people are friends because their romantic relationship didn't work out. That's not actually being friends. That's just, keeping us together and keeping us, seeing each other while we figure out what's going on with ourselves and don't, admit that we should be moving on. Okay, right? Someone says, I never understood how people could be besties with their ex. I don't understand that either. Okay, I don't understand either. Trust me. And you shouldn't be. Okay. Kiki says, how do we walk away and never turn back? I actually have a whole show on detachment and how to do that step by step. It's a little bit more nuanced than just me saying stand up for yourself and get a grip. So I actually have made a whole show on that. It's available on my YouTube. Just go to my YouTube page. It's right above my head on the top right of the screen. Okay. India says all my exes are blocked. Good. Good. That's how it should be. Either they're blocked or you just don't speak to them, okay, at all. Because there's no reason why you should on an ongoing, especially best friends. That's insane. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay. Right. M says 4 months no contact, guys. Never speaking to him again because I found Tommy. It's good. And the thing that some of you need to realize too, that is good. That's gonna sound bad. Is that realizing that the guy that you were dating or seeing doesn't want you or doesn't want to be in a relationship with you is one of the best realizations you can have in your life. And I know that sounds horrible, but when you stop wasting your time on a guy who things weren't going anywhere with anyways, that is the best thing you can do for you. Don't ever think that, oh my God, I listened to Tomisin's advice and when I took it and stopped reaching out to him every second of every day and begging him to see me, he just stopped messaging me and just stopped seeing me, and now we have no relationship. Some of you start thinking, well, that's so horrible. I don't want that, so I don't want to do that. But the reality of it is, one way or another, you will come to your realization that this isn't the man for you. Either it will be because one day he just stuns you and tells you, hey, I got a different girlfriend or I don't want this relationship anymore. Or it will be because you're in so much pain that you get to the point where you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And he breaks up with you to kind of spare you, right? And either way, you're going to end up feeling that pain. So it's better for you to realize that things weren't going anywhere at the beginning or earlier than realize it later because you stick around for so long. You know what I mean, right? Please, please, please. One of the things we talk about all the time is your time and your energy because you only have a limited amount of that on this earth. Okay? And you have to treat it as if it is urgent. Do not treat your time or your energy as if it's something casual that you don't have to think about or care about or you can just use on anyone at any time and you have an unlimited amount of it. Don't do that. Your time is so valuable. Your time is so limited. You cannot spend it on people who are just going to waste it. And that, in 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 1 year's time, you'll have nothing to show for all the time and investment that you put into that person. Please don't do that, please. Liz M donates $5 in the YouTube chat. She said, oh, she didn't say anything. She just donated $5 in the YouTube chat. Okay, thank you, Liz, for the donation. All right. Someone says, what if he says, let me scroll up here. What if he says to make it up, he'll make it up to me and he'll call me and message first, but doesn't. He's going through exams. Then you have to let men do what they said they were going to do. So if a guy tells you, hey, I'm going to call you this day. I'm going to take you out on a date this day. We're going to go out this day. He said it. All you need to say is, okay. And you allow him to show you if he's serious about that promise that he made to you or not. See, the problem comes when a guy makes you a promise, I'm going to call you this day. I'm going to call you that day. I'm going to, message you this day, whatever to you this day. And you don't allow him the space to actually follow through with that or keep that promise. And you start reaching out to him and saying, please, you said that you were going to take me out on Tuesday. It's Tuesday at 5 p.m. now, and we're supposed to go out in 10 minutes. Where are you? Why haven't you messaged? You cannot do that. Because you also need to be sure that when a guy makes a promise to you, he actually intends to keep that. And you can't be sure of that if you're hounding men to keep their promises. Okay. So if a guy tells you he's going to call you or message you one day or take you out one day, hold him to that. But do not, right, be on his phone messaging him or calling him or saying, you said you were going to do this. You said you were going to do that. You allow him to show you that he really means what he said. Right? Does that make sense? All right. Don says, Tomisin, are you sad today? No, I'm actually in a good mood today. Okay. I'm just very, I think the word is namaste, right? I'm calm, I'm collected because I'm not worried about the technical difficulties. Okay. I'm having a good day. Someone says, what if he says he's being stingy? Okay. So then you be stingy with your time and energy too, and don't spend it on him. Nice and stingy. Everyone can be stingy. Listen, If a man is too stingy to do anything for you, like spend time with you or spend money on you or just do anything for you in general, you be stingy too. Spend your time on yourself. Or with a man who actually is generous. And I don't just mean generous with his money. I mean generous with like actually wanting to do something for you. If a man is like oh, I don't want to I'm so red pill. I don't want to do anything for women because that's simping. Okay, cool. So then you be single forever. Trust me. Don't trust me. Okay, me and you, we have a little secret here. Let the red pill men who don't want to be simps, let them do what they want to do. Don't argue with them. Don't fight back with them. Don't try to convince them that your way is the way and they're wrong. Let them go about what they're doing. Eventually they'll realize they're in a room full of men, right? Just staring at them, all flexing their muscles, circle jerking, saying, we're so hard and red pill. It's fun. It's fun for a couple of months. Then the years go by. Then you're old and you're still in a room full of men saying, we're hard men, we're not simps. And then some of the men start saying, yeah, we're not simps, but like, we're all bros here. Like there's no girls going to be here at all. Can't we invite at least a few? No, bro, we're not simps. We're just going to sit here with the boys. And then all the red pill men will start saying, but I'm straight. Like, we're not simps, but like I am straight. I don't just want to sit here with all you men forever. Okay, so eventually what's going to happen is those red pill men will eventually break because they'll realize, hey, yeah, I can talk down on women and say I'm not this and I'm not a simp and this and that all I want. But eventually I actually do still like women. So I actually am going to have to at some point go the other way and treat a woman right, because I'm not going to get access to any woman if we just sit around here in a circle jerk, talk about how hard we are. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you kind of have to let those, when the men are in that mode, they just think that, hey, I'm not a simp, I don't do anything for, cool. Let them be themselves and go along with their tribe. We're so hard, we're so not simps, cool, yeah. And then eventually they realize, well, it's all men here, so it's kind of ain't that fun of a party when we're just all men sitting around here looking at each other. It's not that much fun anymore, right? There's a reason why they always say, invite women to the party. You never hear men say, hey, let's only invite men to the party, we'll have lots of fun. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so don't get anxious when you hear men say that. Just let them go on their way, right? Don says, how do we know if they are red pill men? I mean, when you meet a guy and you start asking him questions and getting to know him, you'll hear the type of rhetoric that he'll start to talk about. I don't do nothing for women. You just very, very, the energy of someone who doesn't even seem like they're ready to be in a relationship, right? Because being in a relationship requires sacrifice. And if I like you, I should be willing to do things for you. It doesn't mean that, I'm going to give $100,000 to an absolute stranger. But the idea that, hey, I don't even want to pay for a date with you because I'm so hardcore, it just it's ridiculous. Okay, that's ridiculous, right? Someone said podcast talking points. So yeah, we're kind of doing that now, right? Noel says, BF did tell me at the beginning of the relationship that he's best friends with exes. I was a fool because he was nice and generous provider. Yeah, you were a fool. I have to be honest with you. You're a complete fool if you believe a man telling you that he's best friends with his ex and you believe that that's platonic. It's that you're fooling yourself big time. I have to be real with you, okay? Not to be mean, I just have to be real. Elle says, I'm having to do nothing by not texting him back because he hasn't called me. Good. Now, that means you're getting rid of someone who was wasting your time anyways. Because if you stop calling that guy and all of a sudden he can't reach out to you or say anything to you, then you are holding that man holding that relationship on your back, right? Which is good because you don't want to be spending any more of your time with a guy that you had to hold the relationship on your back. That don't make no type of sense, okay? Right? The ex being the best friend is crazy. Someone says, a guy always smiles at me and I don't know what's that. What do you mean you don't know what's that? I don't understand. Mono says, what do you do when a best friend who is married tells you that he developed feelings for you? You do nothing. He's married. Chat, don't waste your time on married men. Married men will literally have you waiting hand and foot for absolutely nothing. I promise you. Any of you that are in a current situation where you're dating, seeing, or thinking about dating or seeing a married man or a man in a relationship, don't waste your life. I help hundreds of women with their relationships in private advice, on the Discord, on the show, and we talk about it here. I'm telling you right now, I've helped hundreds of women with married men situations. They always say the same few things. I'm about to get a divorce. We're about to break up. My relationship is so bad. It's basically over. We're essentially separated. It's basically done. They always say the same thing. They always say, I'm just about to signature my name on the divorce paper. It's literally coming. Tomorrow I'm going to Staples. And as soon as I go to Staples, I'm buying that ballpoint pen and the paper will be printed out. As soon as that freshly printed out paper and I get the ballpoint pen, I'm signing my name. So I'm basically divorced. They always say it like it's about to happen, and it never does. Okay? It never does. They always stay married. They always stay with that girlfriend. Meanwhile, you sit on the sidelines, giving him your body, giving him your mind, your soul, your spirit, hoping that one day all the things he's been telling you would happen will eventually happen. You end up sitting on the sidelines for years of your life, waiting for that thing to happen until one day you realize, maybe you never realize in some cases, that he's just going to stay with his wife. And in some cases, the guy that's married cuts you off because he's like, actually, I love my wife again and I don't want to get caught with you. Don't waste your life away. Also think to yourself, do you deserve to be someone's second choice? Right? Meaning that if he's married to someone else, that's his first choice. Whether you like it or not, you can convince yourself of whatever narrative you want. The woman he put a ring on her finger, paid for a ring and had a wedding with, that is his first choice. You are his second choice. As long as he's married to that woman, you are his second choice. Because under the law, if you're religious, under God, under the government, under everything we consider physical, mental, and spiritual, he is bound and bonded to her through marriage. So she will always be his first choice. You will always be the second choice at the most. So don't ever convince yourself of any narrative that, hey, I'm technically the first choice because he really doesn't like his wife and they're basically separated. No. As long as he's married to her, that's his first choice. So unless you're okay with being the second choice, in which case do your thing. But if you don't like the idea of being the second choice, then you definitely should walk away from that. And if that resonates with you or that hurts your feelings, then that message was probably meant for you. Okay? Selena says, what if they are actually separated? I'm going to make it very clear to you. Separation is not divorce. I'm telling you this. Listen, I'm not telling you this because I just like to pull stuff out of my butt. I'm telling you this because I actually help women with these issues, see them through it, and actually see the end result. Men who say they're separated but aren't actually divorced never actually end up getting divorced. They always say they're separated because they're not actually willing to follow through with divorce. The ones that are serious about actually, ending the relationship and moving on with their life, they just get divorced. They get divorced first, then they start exploring new relationships. The ones that want to put you in a web of lies and put you in a limbo state where you don't know what's going on and you're confused and everything's confusing, they say they're separated for sure, for real this time. But you have to realize saying you're separated is just words. You guys have to understand the difference between words and actions. Saying I'm separated from my wife is just words. It's not actually meaning anything. And there's no actual proof to say that you're really separated. Actually being divorced is on a paper, actions, following through with something, getting a lawyer, paying for a lawyer, going through all the logistics, right? That's actually following through with the idea that I'm done with this relationship. Saying I'm separated is just words, meaning that he can just throw that out and say that, and that's not actually the case. So don't waste your time. Even if a man is super serious and super honest and super real that the fact that this relationship is ending, you tell him, cool, I'm glad that you're separated now. Let me know when you get a divorce and it's final under the law, okay? And then show me the divorce paper, and then we'll have a conversation after I see that you're fully divorced. If he's planning on getting divorced, it shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. You understand what I'm saying? If the man is already planning on getting a divorce and all you're asking from him is to show you the divorce paper when he gets divorced, shouldn't be a problem. He was already going to do it, right? So it only should be a couple weeks or maybe a month or so. He gets the divorce and then it's over and then you guys can date if he loves you so much and wants to be with you so much. But you notice when you start asking men to show you action and just be like, oh, just simply show me the divorce paper when you get divorced then. And then he says, but no, the divorce, it's going to take a long time to settle all these issues and take care of this and do that and put this here and this house in her name and this. Oh, so then you're not even ready for a relationship then. Perfect. Let me know when you get a divorce because then I'll know you're ready for a relationship. If you still have to figure out this house situation and this arrangement here and the kids here and the school here, all your energy and focus needs to be on that and figuring out that situation. Until you figured out that situation that requires your attention and focus, you're not even in a position to be dating. So you have to understand your answer works either way. Whether they say, oh, the divorce is going to take a long time. Okay, so then that divorce requires all your attention. And if they say, oh, well, it's not going to take a long time, but I am basically separated. Oh, okay. So then get the divorce final and then we'll have a conversation. Simple, right? You see, when you make things very simple and you boil them down to their root and you actually make them make sense, you will realize the lies and the maneuvers that men are making because they'll try to talk their way out of something that's very logical. If it doesn't take a lot of time, get it done real quick and then we can date. If it's going to take a lot of time, then you're not even ready to be dating anyways because you're having something that's going to take a lot of your energy. Simple. Why date me when you have an ongoing situation that's going to take up so much of your focus? And if you do want to date me and you can do that and you can get a divorce very quickly and easily and simply, then why not just do that so that you're in the clear? Make things very easy for yourself, okay? Obviously, we have this show and we have discussions here, so it makes more sense when I'm talking to you about it because, it's a Friday afternoon and you're not in love with me. But I want you to give you this advice so that you can start hearing me in your mind every day when you go to bed, when you're in the shower, when you're on the toilet, right? That you can start remembering everything that I'm saying and seeing my face in your mind all the time. That when guys start telling you BS, you'll be like, oh no, honestly, that doesn't make any sense. And I know it doesn't make any sense because I actually went through the logic of how it doesn't make any sense. And then when you get really smart like that, guys start to fear you because they realize they can't pull the wool over your eyes. See, you were in a position of weakness before you had a lot of knowledge. Those of you that have been in the Players Club for a long time, the amount of knowledge you gain makes you so much more powerful because it makes it so much harder for people to convince you of BS. When you are unaware or you're naive, you're easily controlled. And that's actually when the guys who like to manipulate will be the most attracted to you because they realize how little you know and the fact that they can convince you of anything. You actually end up repelling a lot of men when you're really intelligent and smart and know what you want and know what you're looking for because the men that want to take advantage of you will realize they can't convince you of whatever they want and that you're too smart that you're going to see through the lies. So they start saying, damn, I might as well not waste my time on her because she's not even going to go for any of the lies, which is good. You don't want to be wasting your time on those men anyways, right? Eve says he has a girlfriend of 7 years, living with her for 2 years, yet he is not divorced from her wife, just separate, and he has side chicks. Eve, please put that message in the Discord because I feel like there's so much to unpack there that it would be hard for me to just, answer that in one simple thing, okay? All right, guys, we're going to hop into our React segment of the show now, all right? Spam up in the chat. Your headphone emoji, spam up in the chat. Your baby oil emoji, spam up in the chat. Your camcorder emojis. Okay, we're going to be filming this live with some baby oil. And I want you guys that have more questions for me, please go into the Discord. Either go into our Discord premium and donate to the show first. You got to donate to the show. So hit that donate link in our pineapples, right? I mean, yours girlfriend now. So yeah. Also, is it too early that I said yes? I think at this point, you've already said yes, so it's fine. You just got to follow through with it. We've been dating for 3 months. That's fine. And exactly. But I feel like I know him well enough now. So then you're in a good place. Also, for month 4, can I see him 8 hours per week? You said, and split it how I want, precisely. Or was it 6 hours and split it how I want? No, you can do 8 hours. It's perfectly fine. You can do the split. Also, this is a silly question, but he is a good cook and making me lasagna and cookies because I'm be studying a lot the next 2 days, and he will deliver them to my house. He really wants to taste my cooking, and I said I'd make him something for Christmas. But since he is cooking for me and has been wanting me to cook for him for a while and is still asking me right now, is it okay if I make him steak? Not gonna lie, I might just buy one from Longhorn and pretend I made it so he thinks I'm a really good cook. I'm not. Also, let me know if I did a mistake today while tutoring. I tutored my brother as well. And so my man got us both food, and he met my brother, and he was very respectful, and they got along. So, but I don't know if it was too soon. No, I mean, now he's your boyfriend, so there's nothing wrong with him meeting your brother, and there's nothing inappropriate about that. As it relates to you cooking him dinner, you're also his girlfriend, so this is part of getting girlfriend privileges, right? You don't have to be so worried about what if you're doing too much or not, because now he's made you his girlfriend. Now, obviously, you don't want to just, forget all the things that you learned in the Players Club and not take any of the advice, but you do want to be, you do want to be keeping track and being aware of that. But I think as far as giving him things or doing things for him, you're the girlfriend now, so you can cook for him if you want. And I think you should. You said you can't cook. Do whatever tastes better. So if you really think you're gonna burn the steak, don't cook the steak. Just pre-make it or whatever you want it to do. But if you can, then cook it from scratch. Although, I mean, if you want to be a wife, like a stay-at-home mom, you want to have some skill set. Just saying. Let's go to our next question. Thank you, Anna. Let's go to our next question, which comes from M. Okay, so M says boundaries made of feathers. Hi, Tom. My name is Maya. I'm 32 years old, and I have been on and off on a situationship with a half-at man who's 37 years old. The first time we started talking was early this year. Talked for about for a month and a half, planned to meet, but then he suddenly disappeared and blocked me from everywhere. Later on, I found out that it was because he started dating someone else. That's a pretty simple, close and shut case, or open and shut case, I should say. Because if you find out that he's dating someone else, what else is there to entertain? A few months after that, we started talking again, and this time we fully met in person. On our first date, we slept together immediately. That time, I thought he is going to stay the night, but he immediately left, claiming he had an emergency at work. He had an emergency at work at midnight? This is a premium question. I thought that it was I thought that it was BS, but I gave him a chance. What are you saying? So this is after you found out that he was dating someone else. You gave him another chance. A week after that, I knew I started falling in love, and I started becoming paranoid. He follows a lot of women on Instagram and likes their photos as well. I have confronted him about it and he told me that there's nothing to it. Later on, I found out that he was in a conquest with other women through a social media dating group for women. Wait, what? What does that even mean? I don't understand what you mean. I found out he was in a conquest with other women. Okay, like he was, penetrating other women. Is that what you mean? He was posted. Oh, why didn't you just say this? Are you talking about, are we dating the same guy? Why didn't you just say, I found him on Are We Dating the Same Guy? Okay, chat, for those of you who don't know what this is, Are We Dating the Same Guy is like a Facebook group that people make in different, major cities where they'll post a guy that they're suspicious is talking to other women or, married or not single. And they'll essentially say, hey, do any of you know this guy? Can you give me any information on him? Or like, are you dating him or know someone who's dating him? And it's like, to be able to get information on guys that are either married or, that are suspicious. I wouldn't advise you to be on a group like that simply because if you're dating guys that you feel the need to post in that group or to see if someone posts about them, then you're not even dating the right guy. But there are groups like that on Facebook that exist. I think almost in every major city there's one of those groups. Okay, I've never been posted, for those of you who are curious. He was posted there as apparently he ghosted someone, and about 10 girls commented that they talked to him, and some of them he had ghosted too, and some had slept with. I had a friend that got posted on this actually. I confronted him about it. He got mad because to him, that group and the women posting there are all crazy. We had a fight over it a week. We had a fight over it for a week. I forgave him again after that. Please see the comments for the rest of the message. After a week of this, I felt he started pulling away. I asked him if there's something bothering him. I posted a TikTok video wherein I was in a bar with him, caption saying, "When the cute guy at the opposite table catches you staring." Are you saying you posted a TikTok video? You were actually in the video saying this? He replied to it with, I thought he was, with a clapping emoji, I thought he was upset because of it, because after I did it, I felt his energy changed. He never replied. I bombarded him with text. He replied eventually and told me he needed to learn how to be by himself. I called it BS. I told him that if he is man enough to date plenty of girls at the same time, then he should be man to end it when he has to. What's your end goal here? What's your end goal here? Chat, sometimes I think that I don't understand sometimes the messages because I think maybe it's because I'm a man. Can all you beautiful women souls explain to me what is the end goal here? Because I'm struggling to understand what the actual goal of this is. I love you and I care about you and I want the best for you, but I just don't understand why are you continuing like to go back and forth with him? And why are you pressing him to end the relationship? Do you think you're like calling his bluff or something? Chad, I'm really confused. Please let me know. Are you trying to call his bluff on ending the relationship? Oh, you're not a man if you can't just end the is that a flex? We had a show today and I talked about not wasting your time doing useless activities. This is one of those. You from the jump, you already started this message with, from the beginning, I found out he was dating someone else. How does this even continue after that? And now you're trying to call his bluff on his manhood because he won't end the relationship. I know he has a girlfriend now and he's been being a coward and a liar for not admitting the truth. I miss out on a couple of days and you guys go insane. Boy, oh boy. Let me take a lap. It's a couple of days goes by, and all of a sudden, you guys lose your ability to think straight. In what in what did okay chat? I think it's because I'm a man. Chat, explain to me, please. Everyone answer. Please explain to me the logic here for the women, because maybe you understand the logic here. Why would M tell? He already knows he has a girlfriend. You know he has a girlfriend. Why are you telling him he's being a coward for not admitting the truth, as if that's like what is going to change there? Please, M, what is your goal? You're calling him a coward for what? What is the actual purpose? Because your ego's hurt? You're a coward and a liar for not admitting the truth. Do you expect him to say, now that I have realized my ways of being wrong to you and treating you poorly, I've now realized how much I want to be your Prince Charming and end my relationship with that other girl and treat you how you deserve to be treated? I'm not saying that you're wrong for him for calling him out on being wrong. But what I'm saying is, what's the point? Even if he says, yeah, you're right, I treated you horribly. Cool. What do you get from that? It's not like you're going to be with him. And honestly, like, truthfully, it's not like he was ever going to apologize to you. It's not like he's going to say, oh, yeah, I was totally wrong and I should have done better. So, like, what are you doing there? What's even the point of wasting your energy? Why are you wasting it? Why are you wasting it? I told him he doesn't need to worry about telling me the truth. So why'd you bring it up? And I'm not going to post him on that woman's group. So why'd you bring it up? Chat, please explain this thought process. I need all of you to explain this thought process to me. He later on admitted that he didn't meet someone. Okay, you already knew that. Apologized and admitted that I deserve to know the truth. Okay, you already knew that. He specified that his new girl knows and saw the post about him. Okay, why does it concern you? And he appreciates how she has stayed instead of running away and has never lashed out or said anything. What does that concern you? I believe he is implying that this time when we had a fight about the group and I threatened that I'm going to leave him, you're not his girlfriend. What threat is the... Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think you might have lost it. Do you think you're his girlfriend? Oh my God. Why are you talking about... Oh my God. I think I'm losing my people. I was gone for two. I think I might need to have a weekend show. I think so. Because clearly if I'm gone for too long, things start going wrong. Why do you think that why do you think there's a threat to you leaving him? You're not his girlfriend. In what world is there a threat to you? Oh my God. Oh my God. You need to watch me every day. You are nothing to him. Why do you think there's a threat in you leaving? I told him that I have stayed too and given him plenty of chances. Oh my God. Yet he has never chosen to be with me. You didn't actually say this, did you? Please, send me a follow-up message saying that I didn't actually say any of this. I was just exaggerating for the story. I just needed a reassurance. For what? He's not your boyfriend. Why do you want him to reassure you? Which he never gave. that he would stop talking to other girls. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh my God. I don't understand. Kat, please explain to me, why is she talking about him talking to, he has a, have I lost it? I think I'm going crazy. I thought this message started off with he has another girlfriend. Why are you talking about him stopping talking to other girls? I could never ask him to, because he has to do it by himself. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this whole message. I don't know, chat. I wasn't prepared for this. Same way as he stopped talking to me now and he has found someone. It was just his choice to be with her. It doesn't matter if she accepted that he is a player or not. Put in our general chat what drugs you take and what you smoke and what you drink. Anything actually that you've consumed in the past 2 months, put it in our general chat, because I want all of the rest of us to avoid any of those substances, please. If you've taken any hallucinogens, put that in the chat too. I want everyone to avoid those. He only just said, that's not what he meant, but okay. What does he mean then? It was obvious that he is trying to make me feel guilty for reacting harshly about his past games. I know he is not ever going to make me his girl anymore because, of course, he already slept with me. Or maybe also he's not going to make you his girl because he has another girlfriend. Am I going crazy? I think I need to go to the doctors. I think I've been staring at computer screens too long and fixing, all technical difficulties I think my brain is not firing properly. Why are you saying whatever? Especially I have told him that I would not sleep with him again unless we become official. I think I lost it. I think I'm going to wake up from a dream tomorrow. I think in a few hours I'm going to wake up from a dream. I think so. I don't think that this is real. I think I'm in a dream right now. I wish I could wake up. LOL, I know this is me trying to set a boundary made of feathers. It would be easier to find a new girl. More chances to get a body. But do you think he is serious about her? Tomisin, sorry for the long story. I just want to know your opinion. Do you think it's my fault that I have expressed anger or disappointment with him when I knew about his past? The group, him cheating, and etc. Thing is, I stayed with him through it all, yet never had a thought of making me his girl. Is he right? And if I had never said anything, he would want to be with me? This might be the worst message we've ever had. I couldn't help but blame myself why I was never enough, even though I've given it my all. Is it is there anything you think I should have done differently? If I had a chance to rewind everything over again so that if I ever meet another man like this, I know what to do. What do you mean? How can you end the message with if I ever meet another man like this? What was the man that you met? You're asking me how do I not get myself knowledgeable to meet another trash man that doesn't want to date me and has another girlfriend? What do you mean another man like this? As if the universe rewarded you with the man you were looking for. Okay, chat. Okay. I'm gonna have a serious conversation with you. You need to solve your loneliness issue. That's the number one thing you need to solve, because what you just said in this entire message is absolute foolishness. The whole thing. The fact that this message even ends with "What should I do if I meet another man like this?" is foolishness. I'm not gonna be nice to you. Okay, you have to get out of your delusion here. You are nothing to this man that you're thinking things you had a thing with. You're nothing to him. He slept with you. He has a girlfriend. He has no respect for you. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't think about you. And he damn sure doesn't want his girlfriend to know about you. Let's just be for real. Secondly, I thought you can't still be doing this at your age. I'll just say that. You can't. You don't you have to become very stingy with your time. You can't still be doing these type of things at your age. Your level of emotional maturity and self-awareness should be higher than to be spending your time with a guy who you know is dating someone else and is on a site like are we dating the same guy? I'm not saying that you're a bad person for finding out that and, finding out he's dating someone else or finding him on that site or people posting about him. What I'm saying is your mistakes came when you continued to entertain that man and talk to him and sleep with him and hang out with him after realizing that. Because what are you trying to do? This is why I say the root of your problem is solving your loneliness problem. Because if you didn't feel lonely and you didn't feel like you had nothing, what you would have done instead of entertaining this guy is you would have realized, I'm not going to waste my time anymore with you. And I'm going to move on to someone who actually deserves my time and energy, which is what you should have done from the very beginning. And doing this with him was a mistake. And it was a mistake from finding out from the very beginning that he was dating someone else. I get it. You like the guy and I get it. You slept with him. Maybe he D'd you down. But at the end of the day, none of that is worth your self-respect. And I just don't understand why you kept talking about him like he was your boyfriend. Or you guys were in a relationship, because you weren't. I have to be honest with you, you weren't. And there was no type of relationship going on. So I don't get why you keep having this conversation as if like there was something going on when there wasn't. This is very sad for me. Okay. I need you for a couple of months to just be single. I don't think that you're yet ready to date people, because right now you're putting too much of your happiness in dating someone. You need to scale that back, and we need to find what your happiness is outside of dating someone. Because if you're allowing things like this, it means that you're so void of happiness in your life that you feel like this is the only way to get that. We got to undo that for you. Then we need to realize that in your future, when you date guys, the first time you hear something like this, you end the relationship. You shouldn't need to hear something 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And you also should have more self-respect for yourself than to sit around and be someone's second or third decision. It's not even like he's just dating you, he's dating you and like 3 other girls. Chat, should I start doing one-on-one coaching? Because I almost feel like this requires a week's worth of a year's worth of time. I might have to start doing one-on-one coaching if it's really that important, because we can't even have you dating for a while. what you did was not good there. And you need to have more self-respect than that for your future and solve your loneliness problem. That's my answer to your question. Life on lock. Samara says, "Hi Tomisin, I'm a 20-year-old female who has been dealing with a 24-year-old man. I have a lot more money than the average adult as I have multiple streams of income." Who are you? Oprah's daughter? And I have been saving since I was the age of 16. Okay. I am looking to date up because the men my age are nowhere near my level of financial or emotional stability. I mean, yeah, I agree. And I have played commitment games and have played commitment games with me as well as traumatized me greatly. Where they've already traumatized you at 20? Whereas older men can be my weakness at times. When we say older, how old are we talking? When they behave and can provide security, we met at a restaurant 3 months ago. I have been following your 1, 2, 3 date schedule so far, practicing being his therapist, not texting too consistently, and have also been declining dates here and there. He has pulled up on me unannounced to bring me flowers and food twice. We had the perfect chemistry during every interaction, pineapple tension through the roof, and I've gotten him to open up about some pretty deep stuff, and our dates felt euphoric. I also like to share my life with the people I have a close relationship with, and I don't like casually telling people what I do for a living. Specifically, people I have been dating for only a few weeks. 8.5 in this case. Now I'm wondering, what do you do for a living? He asked me multiple times what I do for work, tried to sneak it in our conversations periodically. I refused, though I reassured him it wasn't OnlyFans. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. Thank you. I was wondering too. In this case, that was what he was concerned about. I'm like any natural guy would be. I've considered lying about it just to pass in conversations, but he has made it clear he isn't interested in a future with me. Oh, sorry, he is interested in a future with me, okay? But the lack of transparency and interest he doesn't appreciate. Since I am not a religious texter with him, as you advised, today he called me to end things as a result. Oh, wow. I am not upset. However, I wish he would have been more patient with me, as I am not open with people I am casually dating for the time being. I feel mystery may have frustrated him a little too much. How can I be more transparent with my life and emotions with a guy I date without them being too informed? Would it give me them a lighter or girlier idea of me in their mind? Do you think I should apologize for being so closed off if he comes back? Thank you kindly, Tomisin. You're extraordinary at your craft. Okay, Samara, here's the thing. Very, very important thing that I want you to notice. Nothing wrong with keeping your cards close to the chest, but you also do have to understand there's a balancing act to that. And some things that you keep close to the chest are going to make you seem suspicious, whether you like it or not. Not telling someone what you do for work is quite suspicious, unless it's something you feel it's necessary to hide. In which case, why do you feel the need to hide it if it's not something like OF, okay? Or something, you like, you get what I'm saying? If it's just a normal job or some sort of niche job that, is not putting his life in danger, right? Mish said, unless you're a CIA agent, there's no need to be so secretive. I agree. Unless you're a CIA agent, you're working in the FBI, you're on some criminal case, you're a personal, what's it called? A PI, right? A personal investigator or private investigator, sorry. What's the need to be so secretive about your work? And here's the thing. You have to understand, honestly, for him, I'm going to be real with you. It's fair for him as an older man to become suspicious about the things you might be hiding if you can't even share what you do for work. You also have to understand men are human too. And they're always evaluating people and who they are and who they're dating. So if he's dating you and he feels like, damn, I'm dating this girl, but she doesn't even want to tell me what she does for work, That's going to start making him nervous that maybe she's lying to me about other things. So unfortunately, what you have to come to the understanding, you're young, so you might not understand this, but what you have to come to understanding is perspective matters. You might know what you do, and you might know that it's not an issue and it's not sketchy or whatever. But you have to understand that there's a perspective that he also has that is not inside your head, that's not going to work with you. And so he's judging what he knows of you by simply what he sees and hears from you. So when he's meeting you, you're a stranger, meaning he can only go by what you say and what he sees. If he's dating you, right? Because this guy's older. So he's dated many people and he's seen many red flags throughout his time of dating. And you are so secretive with your occupation that you still haven't told him after 8 weeks of dating him, or 8.5 weeks of dating him. He's going to start saying, hey, whenever I notice someone is very secretive about their life, it usually ends up poorly or bad for me. This is making me suspicious about what she might also be lying about. You might have been totally honest, but this is what I want you to know about perspective. His perspective might start to be, she's probably lying to me about other things as well. So if that's the case, I'm just going to drop her instead of trying to figure out this whole mystery box situation and uncover all of these secrets. Because he's probably saying to himself, I'm older now and I don't have time to waste on people who are so secretive that they can't share with me anything. Okay. Obviously, there's different aspects to that, right? You don't need to go tell everyone all your traumas and everything you've been through on the very first date. But not telling them what you do for work, especially if it's something legal, that's strange. And any grown person would find that strange. Any person who's been through multiple relationships would probably say to themselves, I'd rather not waste my time here. Because if you asked anyone who's serious about dating if this would be more likely you're wasting your time or not dating someone who does this, they would all say, I'm more likely wasting my time. So he's actually doing you and him a favor by cutting it off, knowing you're probably not the type of person for him. So now your options are this. You have two options. You can either continue doing this and continue having that same thing happen to you, or you can just learn to be transparent about certain things and keep hidden certain things that can be told at a later date. Are you following what I'm saying? He doesn't need to know, the last time your mother hurt you or traumatized you to date you. But he should know what you do for work in factoring in who you are as a person. Are you following what I'm saying here? So there's certain things you keep close to the chest. What you do for work is not supposed to be one of them. And honestly, even if you did OF or anything in that sort of family of things, you should just be straight up and honest about that, because there's no purpose to hiding that and then hoping that this guy will become invested in you or like you first. And then when you tell him, he'll be more okay with it because he liked you first. You're better off just telling men right away, allowing them to make the decision on whether they like it or not. That way you don't have to worry about some dark cloud hanging over you that you're scared to tell a guy down the road. So whatever it is, whether it's OF, whether it's anything else even worse than that, or whatever it may be, okay, whatever it is that you choose to do with your life, you just be honest with people about what you do for work, and then let them decide whether they're okay with that or not. Because if you do that for work and you're proud of that and that's how you get your income, then just stand by that. Don't do the thing and then be scared to tell people you do the thing. Do the thing and stand on it. Don't do the thing and be embarrassed about it, or else how does that work? You're not actually living your truth if you're doing the thing and then you're embarrassed about telling people you do the thing. Especially when it comes to your work, you should be proud of what you do for work. Work shouldn't be something that you want to basically tell no one about because you don't want no one to know that you do it. That doesn't make any sense. And you're 20, so you're going to realize this real fast. He's very justified in ending your relationship for being so secretive about what you do for work. I didn't say being secretive about, your traumas. Being secretive about what you do for work is a reason to break up with someone, because it's a major red flag. Okay. Let's go on to our next question here. What's OF? Everyone else in the chat, tell one of our members here what OF is. Bean says, hi, my name is Selena. I've been dating a 49-year-old man since the end of July. We met at a bar. I was out with my coworkers celebrating, and he was there alone and sat next to me. We started talking and ended up staying there talking for about an hour. The conversation was good. He told me he was in an 8-year-long relationship with a woman who was an alcoholic. He ended up marrying her and they divorced after only 1 year. He said that the relationship was great, but her alcohol issues caused them problems, physical and verbal abuse towards him. The relationship ended in March this year, but he says her and the kids moved out in March. He lives a lavish lifestyle and spoke about how he has business and properties out of the country and lives in a penthouse in the city. I looked it up and the rent is $5,000 a month. Okay. We went out to several dates and he always took me to really nice places. He helped me solve financial problems financially and introduced me to family and close friends. I admit that running into him and being introduced to a lifestyle I've never experienced was fun. I started to fantasize about the future. He told me he would help me start a business and that he helped his ex build a 6-figure business. Sounds great in theory. I decided to take a step back and assess the situation because I started to notice that things that concern me. I did a soft cutoff last week and he has been pleading with me ever since. What's your question here? Am I overreacting? Well, you also have what is the reason that you cut him off? That's obviously a really important part of this situation that you didn't describe here. So I can't really answer your question unless you tell me what the reason it is that you cut him off is, because I can't tell you whether it was justified or not if I don't know why you did it, or what happened in your relationship to determine why you would cut him off. Are you following what I'm saying? That's like a really important part to answering the question of are you overreacting here? Because I don't see any other second part. So you probably put that in your second part, and then I can answer your question. Oh, this is part 2. Thank you. Perfect. So then you say, oops, I just want to know, am I overreacting? He never invited me to his house. He said because of the memories of his ex. What? If his neighbors see me, that's grounds for alimony. Okay, so once again, why isn't he just divorced? He always wanted to go on dates to restaurants and bars, always very nice places, but always a bar or restaurant. He never wanted to drive his car when we went to places. He said it was only because his car was dirty from work. He has some DV cases in case search. Friday. You're not overreacting. I don't need to see anything else. Once you see that, done. Don't consider anything. Don't justify anything. Don't try to understand anything. Don't try to work your way around or massage anything. It's done. So to answer your question, you're not overreacting. We can skim through the rest of this, but there is no overreacting to this. You didn't even say he has a DV case. You had said he has some DV cases in case search. And I'm not even mad at you that you found this out. I'm glad you found this information out. That's good. Now he can't hide it from you. This is actually not even take a break from someone. This is a block and never speak to again. There's no point. Some DV cases, no. Don't ever speak to him again. We'll skim through the rest of this. There's nothing else to talk about here. I was looking for proof of a divorce or a separation, but all I saw were DV charges, of course, because separation is just talk, right? He didn't tell me that himself. Of course, why would he? Is that information that someone should be forthcoming about? I don't know. Well, it's good either way. You found it out, so it's good, right? Obviously, too, you were probably getting some signs things were wrong, which is why you went looking for more information, which is good. You should be in search of more information. If I want to go home alone after a date, or I don't want to go home with them to a hotel, you should never be in anywhere with him anymore. That should be the end of everything. Okay. And also let me make this clear to you. You don't need to explain to him the information you got to make you come to the conclusion. Just drop it. Okay. I want to be very clear. Just drop it. Do not go feeling like you owe him an explanation. Oh, I found this out. And all he's going to do is defend himself. There is no defending multiple DV cases. So don't even bother hearing the story. Okay. Because I can't go to his actual house. Okay. Probably more for legal reasons. He gets upset and will ignore me or text paragraphs trying to make me emotional. But thanks to you, I'm indifferent. You should also be distant. In fact, a ghost. Then he will blame it on alcohol or say that he did it because he was frustrated and act like I don't care. Okay. He'll blame his own actions on alcohol. Sounds like a recipe for more DV. Okay. It's also other petty stuff, but it's cool. He's a cool guy. Sure, for now. I like him a lot, for now. But some of that is just a little iffy. You think DV cases is a little iffy? Do we have a misunderstanding of what DV is? A few DV cases is not a little iffy. A little iffy is a guy who only puts jelly on his peanut butter and jelly sandwich. A little iffy is a guy who doesn't eat crust. A little iffy is a guy that says, I don't like drinking chocolate milk. A little iffy isn't having a couple of DV cases. Boy, I tell you, boy. Should I give him another chance or should I cut him off? You should cut him off. I guess this is your side notes here. Just wanted to add to the house thing. I was okay with it because he told me he was leaving. Irrelevant. He casually told me irrelevant, lease thing, irrelevant. None of this is relevant. You talked about the fact he has ongoing multiple DV cases. Everything else here is irrelevant. You're not overreacting to anything. This isn't a little iffy. This is forget about him and never speak to him again. And you don't owe him an explanation. Okay? Right? All right, chat. That's the show for today. I'm going to head out. I have a lot to do today. And I want to make sure I fix this. For those of you who didn't get your question answered, don't worry. I'm going to be here on Monday. Don't worry. I'm here all the time. There's going to be no technical difficulties. And I may or may not have a surprise show tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that, okay? I may or may not be here tomorrow, depending on how I feel. So just make sure you're in our Discord. Make sure you're there, because if I get on live tomorrow, you want to make sure you're there bright on time. And show up for that, because depending on how I feel, I might do one tomorrow as well to make it up for you guys. Also, thank you very much to Jamie in our YouTube chat who donates $7. She said, thank you for the advice. A guy who wasted my time for 3 months this summer texted me this week, zero hesitation in deciding not to reply. I'm so glad that you didn't waste your time. All right, chat. For those of you who are on TikTok and you want to rewatch you want to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is just Tomisin_Tub. It's also Tomisin_Tub on YouTube. Just type it in. It's also Tomisin_Tub for those of you on YouTube. It's in my description for those of you that want to find it there. For those of you who are on TikTok and you want to rewatch the show in its entirety, it's on my YouTube page, and it's Tomisin Atobatele. Okay. And just go on my YouTube page and we'll find that. You'll find that there. You'll find all of our shows, our live shows, in my live section. Just go over there and you'll see the YouTube chat and the TikTok chat embedded in the videos so that you won't miss a second of conversation. All righty. For those of you who are wondering what time I get on live, it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every weekday. So Monday to Friday, EST. You got to figure out what time that is in your time zone. Until we meet again. Goodbye for now. Arrivederci, adios, sayonara, ciao, hasta la vista, bon voyage! And I'll see you again tomorrow, Monday. and we will discuss more love life and relationships. I might also see you on Saturday. You never know. You better get in the Discord and find out. Okay, I love you. Bye. Bye for now. Bye for now. Bye for now.